I'll get that right eventually. Okay, here we go. Big day today. Did I do the done? Alright, so how does one do this? Okay, so it's not like that. Okay, so it's not like that. How do you duplicate it? Oh god. I thought it was like super easy. How do you do this? Oh god. Oh, wait. Is that it? Okay, so what we got? Fire Demon 11 from 2016. Just as a heads up for anyone intending to run the game for the Platinum, intending to write a guide at some point. Wait. Just as a heads up for anyone intending on running the game for Platinum, intending on writing a guide at some point. Oh, okay. I get it. Oh. How did nobody figure this out? Okay, wait. The lure glitch still works to get unlimited Gilda. For those of you who don't know what it is, equip the lure rod. And make sure to have at least 2 of the same kind of any lure. Okay, so we did do that right. Equip 1 onto the lure rod, then switch your screen to either Monica or the ride pod and choose to equip your other lure to Max's rod. It won't look like anything is happening, but each time you choose equip to other lure, it duplicates it on Max's character screen. Each lure sells for 100 Gilda, and they can be duplicated to up to 999 times. Please note that attempting to duplicate the lure any higher than that will cause the counter to reset. I wouldn't even go that high. I'd just stop at like 500. I mean, it's the same number no matter what. It's not like you get a discount. Sorry, I slowed down there. I was reading. Any higher will reset. So I suggest being careful once you hit over 900. Okay. If you want to go that high. Nice point. Nice. Oh god, now I feel obligated to do 105. Alright, let's make sure I've got volumes down, because these websites are so bad for ads. Halfway. 2 hands now, I'm not looking at my phone. Okay. Oh, I went too high. Shoot. Whatever. Well, you know what? We'll just start with that one. Did my game just freeze? Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that. The audio's still going. I did too much. Wow, I can't believe that just happened. I didn't know that was going to be a thing. What did that take? That only took 6 minutes. Oh, I can't believe my PS2 just froze there. I mean, that's absolutely the glitch's fault. Well, my fault, possibly. I shouldn't have put the lure rod on. Every time. I should probably just switch the memory cards. It would probably make more sense to just switch the memory cards. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. I probably freaked the game out. Okay, well, sorry about this. This actually kind of sucks. I mean, it was only, again, I think 5 minutes. Alright, I'm about to come up on a minute, so hold on. Alright, I'm 5 seconds over, so let's see exactly how many I can get in a minute. Honestly, let's stop a little early. Oh yeah. Easy. Oh, did I just... That was so dumb. Why did I do that? Oh my gosh, why did I do that? In my brain, I was just like, oh yeah, it'll just move the whole stack. I don't know how this glitch works, obviously. In my brain, that totally made sense. But it's not supposed to work that way. It's not supposed to work this way. Oh. Wait. Huh? Wait. Now I'm confused. Are they still technically on there? I should probably just try counting. I'm not very good at math, but, you know, counting might just be easy enough that I can do it. So let's see. Oh, way off. I can't count that fast. Oh, I hate myself. I was gonna say my only excuse is at 6 a.m., but I have no excuse because I've been up since 2 a.m. Unless I can figure out how to get all my lures back like I just did earlier. Oh, I definitely told myself that I was going to save between duplicating lures. I am not very sharp today. Oh, that is not good. Okay, well, hopefully I can turn it around. That was an embarrassing start. Oh my god, we're in 12 minutes. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Not gonna be as embarrassing as when I lose my first fish. But I think here we go. Should I just do it? No. It's easy enough. So what? 50? 51? 50. Okay. Alright. I've never done this before. I'm assuming they're caught out here. Oh, I should have saved. Shoot. Whoops. Well, no, I did save. I should have saved here, though. Okay, get in the corner. That's it? I don't know how this works. I have no idea how this rod works. Is my bobber gone? No, I just... You can't see it, there is no bobber. What do I need to be doing? Oh, is that a fish?
Oh, looks like you found a lure. Let me tell you how to fish with one of those. First, you put the lure on the rod, just like you do with regular bait. Choose Put on Fishing Hook from the lure commands, and you're good. Just like bobber fishing, pick a choice location. Then you gotta choose your casting point with the left analog stick.
Okay.
When you've decided, press the X button to cast. Use the left analog stick to move the rod when the lure hits the water, and the X button to reel it in. Lure fishing relies on rod movement and line reeling to attract fish. Try a lot of different combinations.
I gotcha. Maybe I don't have you. Huh. Okay, we can figure this out. Or maybe we can't. Okay, maybe I need to be at a different body of water. Maybe this was a mistake coming here specifically. Oh. Okay, okay. Maybe it's just the wrong lure. Maybe that's an ocean lure. Okay, I'm hating this. Hating every second of this. Oh, we got something. Oh, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, so I'm doing something right that way. That was scary. Oh god, this isn't even like a Mardan or anything. I'd like to look, but I think we're gonna lose the fish. So give me just 1 second. Thank you for coming to the stream. Oh man, this is just a Baku Baku, I think, or a Gobbler. And it's this tough? Oh, this is not good. I am not prepared. I'm glad I have all day to practice. This is gonna be crazy. I am not prepared to catch a perfect fish like this. Okay, we're halfway at least. Halfway down. Which way are you going? That was brutal. Double back. Good. Another one. One over here. Okay. Alright, he's starting to dance. Alright, yeah, he's got fancy feet. Alright, stay in place. Keep it under half. Starting to come into nice 146. That is tiny. That was way too difficult for that. Oh my gosh, that is horrifying. One point. My gosh. So wait, oh, it's already that late. I might as well just finish. Should I go fish in a level? I wonder if that would be better. Welcome back, though. We are doing the full stream today. Oh wait, I forgot it's not a... to this. I am not not in the zone for this at all. I'm a lure rod or a bait rod guy. I think everybody's a bait rod person. Okay, so I think flight. I think I actually need to go flight before luck. You know, I should probably do resilience and everything first. There's so much to think about. This is a whole different ballpark, or fishing pond, or fishing. It's just a fishing rod. It's an entirely different fishing rod. I don't know why I'd say something different. I wonder if I should pause longer. They were always my favorite. Well, I can't. Is it? Gosh, I might butcher this. I think it's a Texas jig with a salamander. Used to be one of my favorites. I believe I have that correct. I might be wrong on that. Although I was never opposed to a good afternoon into morning of catfishing with some simple stink bait. The most relaxing type of fish. I guess carp fishing's more relaxing. this any better? Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Are you not entertained? Am I supposed to, like, actually make the frog jump? Look, he's hopping through the water. Look, it's realistic. Is that what you want? Look, he's doing an upward dash through the water like a frog would. Come get him. Dinner served. Oh god, that worked. Why did that work? Oh god, this game's not realistic enough for that to have worked. Why did that work? Oh, I haven't caught one of those before. He's worth 50 points. That breaks my heart. Oh, there are small fish. I forgot about that. That's heartbreaking. Oh, does it automatically just put a lure on there for you? Is that what's happening? Oh my god, that actually works. That's unreal. Alright, I'll have to read that. Oh, I'm gonna lose this fish. I'm gonna lose this fish. I'm literally reeling this thing in by 0.1s. Stop dancing on me. Just give me some consistency. Thank you. 0.2. My god. Alright, I wouldn't mind losing one of the first fish of the day. This is a little intense. I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. I can't see the arrow. Alright. A little more consistency, please. Excellent. Another one. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna lose him at some point. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. Oh, that was insane. I was quick on that one. I just need a few more of those. That was not it. Okay. We're agreeing on something. Yes! DJ Captain. Another one. Yes! I might actually catch this fish. Okay, don't get cocky. Oh, it's hard to keep under half now. Okay. He's gonna be like single taps. This is perfect. Keep this up. Not good. Okay. Okay, that was a good 0.3. This is 1 in centimeters, not meters. I think I lost this fish. I don't think I can win one of those last ones at the end. The game's gonna have to pretty much just give it to me. Nope. Ah, there was no way. There was no way I could catch that fish. I knew as soon as I saw, I would have to start predicting the way. Ugh. That's too bad. I'm not a psychic. My first thought was bouncing along some vegetation. Probably out of the water, bang, massive. Yeah, bass are like, well, I mean, that's like the whole point. Yeah, that's why people spend $10,000 on a bass boat. But bass are insane. I think well, I was gonna say what you remember is probably your first bass strike, but probably not. It's before that. But yeah, bass are insane, especially with frogs. I mean, they're just aggressive predators. If bass could get to the size of groupers, they'd be terrifying. Bass are like literally the badger of the water. If they were bigger, they'd be scarier. Dang, there was no way I was getting that fish. I realized it too late. There we go. This one seems catchable. Yeah, this one's catchable. Yeah, I started to notice that every time I would go left or right, it would just, that bar would go too high. And then I started to realize at a certain point, unless it was programmed to only go so high, as the bar climbed, I was gonna lose the fish at some point. And yep. I nailed a couple of those perfectly, but I mean, you can only be so good. Although that makes, I wonder if I should probably just, oh, wrong way, I lost it. Dang, this isn't insanely difficult. Oh my gosh, I just lost another fish. This is like way harder than I expected it to be. I wonder if I can just go back to this pond. I've never lost 2 fish back to back, holy crap. Insane. Welcome back. Yeah, geez, I can't believe I just lost 2 fish. Let me get my spot. Run diagonal, start fishing, sweep it over here. Ooh, oh my gosh. Well, I feel a little bit better now, because now I'm starting to realize that you just don't get lucky. I mean, this is like all skill. Like, you gotta figure this out, and you gotta know how to fish for difficult fish, because like the small fish are difficult. That first fish was only 152 points. Oh, wait, if you just step back, you probably heard my whole thing about your first frog hit. I was wondering if it was your first frog hit or if it was your first bass hit in general, because bass are insanely predatory. Bass are so much, I mean, that's why there's entire tournaments. I'm going to say it all again. If bass were the size of grouper, they would be terrifying. But that like, goes back into why I think like fly fishing is so cool, because you actually learn like what animals are in what environments and the fish actually recognize. A whopper plop. I love fishing names. It's so good. That's pretty much spicy. Isn't exactly how I describe mine. Mine look like a salamander with a freaking giant hook through its spine. But I saw this Texas jig with a salamander, and I was just like, I want it. And it was my favorite lure for a long time. Eventually, I learned it actually mimicked a real species of salamander, or it's a red-effed newt. But like they're actually poisonous, so like not a lot of fish are supposed to eat them, but they will. They usually die, but like they don't learn that lesson because you're dead. But no, they're a dry land salamander in between morphs. So they're like super bright and flashy color. Like, hey, I'm poisonous, but fish are dumb, and what do they love? Bright, flashy things. I probably would have stayed into fishing if I'd have been into, like, sitting on top kayak fishing. But it was always canoe fishing, and, like, maybe it's just because I'm not a people person exactly, but, like, there's something about sitting in a canoe with somebody and having your trust to not take a drink the entire day. Like, please don't tip this canoe. Please don't tip this canoe. Maybe it's just the people I hang out with. I don't know. Frog strike was not my first bass strike. Okay, so you'd already had the taste for bass. Very nice. Alright, is this not the pond to be doing this in? Or is it just lure fishing? Yeah, we always did canoe, and I felt like canoe wasn't fun because anytime you wanted something, you had to either bypass people or wait for them to stop doing their BS to actually get you something. Because, yeah, you can't move around on a canoe, and if you try to, you put everybody in the water. My God, that's one of those things that, like, you just can't lie your way through. You cannot lie about canoe experience, because the second you are behind the paddle, everybody can tell. I've done a lot of exploration kayaking. Oh God, I keep treating it like a bait rod. Like going out in the springtime when all the floods are, like, occurring and stuff like that. Nice. And, like, kayaking through the woods. But, like, you can't really fish that time of year because it's so freaking cold. It's mostly snow melt anyways. But, like, it's super cool when the woods are flooded and you're, like, kayaking in, like, 2 feet of water. That's such a cool experience, especially because there's no bugs. But, yeah, if you tip in that, it's so cold. Oh, my God. That's, like, dangerous cold water if it wasn't, like, ankle deep. You know, you might actually, I mean, it's probably impossible to actually find them because when the water gets up like that, the fish are more dispersed than ever. But I bet, like, pike and muskie are, like, on the hunt. They don't give a shit how cold the water is. But again, when the water level rises, there's more room for the fish to spread out, so it's kind of harder to find them. So that's kind of a backwards thing. God, so I'm just gonna have to catch those tiny fish. I'm leveling resilience. I mean, I'm pretty sure, isn't it pike that people catch when ice fishing? I mean, there's other fish, obviously, but I think it's of the Muscidae family. I think it's pike, or it might be muskie. But I thought it was northern pike specifically that people catch while ice fishing. Like, they don't care. They are intense fish. I might be mixing the two up. I used to know my fish better, but the threat of failing a class no longer looms over my head. And again, as much as I love fish, it's so hard to study them. Like, by the end of my schooling, my favorite animal to study became birds, simply because you could go sit at a picnic table with, like, your lunch and some binoculars and get an entire day of study in. Whereas, like, snakes, you actually had to have a game plan of where you were gonna go, and you had to get lucky. Mammals, you have to trap or set up trail cameras. But, like, no, birds? No, you just, again, sit at your local park, take pictures of them. Fish, again, we talked about this. So difficult to actually study fish. Like, again, it's like, oh, I'm just trying to study fish. And it's like, oh, how many have you seen this year? And it's like, well, you know, it's been a rough year. Like, literally, if you want to do fish surveys, you have to kind of put your ethics to the side and be like, all right, how are we catching a shitload of fish? Are we netting them or shocking them? I don't try to look at things while on stream, but I will look into getting Discord here soon. I am intrigued in the speedrunning community. But I do try to not look at my phone when I am streaming because I don't like that. It's a big pet peeve of mine. I do it sometimes when I have to, like, Google something that I have no clue how it works, but I have to say, as somebody who's never made content for about 30 years, it always bothered me when I'd hop into a stream and the streamer was just checking out their phone for 15 minutes. So I told myself I would not do that. So I apologize, but that is one conviction I am actually going to try to hold myself to, is not looking at social medias. Again, I'll Google something like what lure catches what fish, but I feel like that's fair. But if I'm going to be a man of any word, I think that's at least a somewhat decent word. Oh man, these fish are difficult. This is crazy. Boggles my mind. If I look away, I lose this fish. I want to read that message. I saw something speedrunning community. But like, if I get the direction wrong on this fish, he's gone. And he's not even that big. He's only filling up half the bar, but like that tells me if I make 2 mistakes, he's gone. Man, I'd love to see that one fish we caught, or we hooked. We didn't catch it. I failed to catch it. Dang, the arrow's so far down there, I can't see it. 158. Okay, so that one we missed was probably a 200? So yeah, the numbers are definitely inflated. I was looking in the speedrunning community. It was fairly active. I think so. But as of now, the only social media I have is Reddit. And I mean, that people argue all the time if that's social media. It absolutely is, but like, just for the sake of simplicity, that is the only one I have. I fell off of Twitter years ago because I realized at a certain point that I wasn't doing anything on Twitter. I was just retweeting and like responding to other people, which is like, that's nice and all, that's the point of Twitter, but like, I don't like that. I actually like content creation. I'm a bit of a new age scrapbooker, if you will. So I got really into like Instagram and stuff like that. But I keep wanting to equip a new lure, but you don't have to. It's so weird to me. It is so weird to me that you don't have to equip to a new lure. I'm gonna have to get used to that. But I got into Instagram, but when they got bought out by, what was it? I think it was Facebook. I just didn't like what was happening. I didn't like the shorts and all that stuff. I didn't like that my homepage was like changing. I don't like change. I'm a Stone Ager. But I got away from that, and I had to join something because you can't just spend your life sending carrier pigeons. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people. Oh, my thumb slipped. I can't believe we didn't just lose that fish. My thumb slipped. Oh, that was so scary. That's all it takes to lose a fish right now, is a literal thumb slip. I think a lot of people lost interest. They tried to merge them, and it was like, they're two separate social medias. Don't make them the same. But I think a lot of people got that vibe. And it's not that I like Reddit. I actually hate Reddit. But I do like Reddit because it is a place where you will find other people doing like batshit crazy stuff. You don't find it often, but if you're there enough, like once a year, you'll find somebody who's just like, yeah, I reached max level in the tutorial area. And it's just like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, it took me 900 hours, but I did it. Yeah, it's taken a few years. And it's like, oh my god. And then they're gone forever. You never see them again. But if you didn't catch them that one day, you didn't get to meet them. And I love that. I love catching those people who just push games beyond their limits because they like them. It's the only game they've played their entire life, and they're just finally to the point where they're just like, what else can I do? And those are the people who inspire me, because I'm not as dedicated as them, but they're the people who are like, oh yeah, if you want to reach max money as fast as possible, kill this rabbit in this cave. And it's like, yes, thank you. You're the only person who would ever know that. And again, if you don't catch them that one day, they're never coming back to Reddit. I have a few social media accounts, and I delete most of them if you want to. Yeah, that's pretty much me. I would have deleted my Instagram, but I think I have over 1,000 posts, and it's just like, I'm too much of a narcissist to ever delete them. I like looking at them. Again, if it was just a slightly different age, I'd be a scrapbooker. I would have a closet filled with scrapbooks and pressed leaves, like some old woman named Pearl. And then I'd have gotten into slideshows, and everybody would have had to see my vacations. Heck, I probably would delete some of them, but like Facebook, you just can't. Oh my god, this is gonna be another one, isn't it? I'm gonna lose this one. I'm gonna play it fast and loose because I already know I'm going to. So like every time I get a double disc or a double yeah, like that, I have to pull. Pull! Is this even possible? I don't know. Alright, so that was 0.8. That was nice. Oh, I lost him. If he goes the wrong way, I lose him. Is this possible? Can I keep this fish? I don't know. I'm close. I'm close. I'm almost where I was last time. We're 2 meters away. Oh, that was dumb. I shouldn't have done it. It was too late. I did that all for 0.4. I lost the fish for 0.4. The greed. Facebook Marketplace is hilariously what it's devolved into. That is like the best thing they actually have. And I think it's just because people are afraid of the Craigslist killer, even though like he's not a thing anymore. Because it's like way harder to make a sketchy face like Facebook nowadays. Everybody's learned. Does that even work? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna catch a fish like that. I wonder if that works. That is a great point though. Facebook Marketplace is like the thing about it. Is this gonna work? Oh my gosh. No, okay, that's not gonna work. I'm doing it too fast. I'm gonna have to start, I think, using Facebook Marketplace to sourcing old video games. I have some really nice local game stores around me that have really good selections and like nice products, and they rotate products so often. It's really cool that like I can actually find games I'm looking for. But the problem is like exactly that. They get so much product in that like all the employees hate the customers basically. Because it's literally 50% of the customers are bringing in giant stacks of video games, and the other half of them are just kind of like, do you have this one very specific game from 1997 made for PS2, but it's actually a PS1 game that they re-released because the first one had like a nude scene in it? And they're just like, no, please stop asking. So like, it's really nice because if you have like a game in mind and you know where everything is, you can just walk in, see if they have the game, and then leave. But like, you cannot expect these people to actually want to help you because they're so burnt out. If you need something from behind the counter, they're like really nice about helping you because that's all the good stuff that's like kept away from the public. But yeah, you can't, like, if you ask them to look for a game for you, they're just gonna stare at you and be like, use your eyes. Like, you found me, didn't you? And it's like so funny because you can just see it on their faces like as you walk in. Because they're just like, okay, he doesn't have 15 games with him. Let's see what he wants. But I've pretty much found every single game I've looked for at their store, and it's wild. The craziest part is I've gone to their store looking for certain games knowing I wouldn't buy them because they're too expensive, seen the rare game, and been like, I'm gonna have to pass up on it, it's 120 bucks. Seen it a second time for like more or less, pass up on it again, and then finally seen it for like a lower price and then finally bought it. And it's just like, it's like, how do they get these games so often? And like, it's not them just taking the game off the shelf and putting it away later. Like, literally, people just sit there around the store waiting sometimes. And I think those are the people that make them so upset. Is they're like, not solicitors, but they're, what is it, loiterers. Sometimes I loiter, but how did I just catch that? That was crazy. But I do love going to the local game store, looking through all the game guides, finding a game guide to something you played years ago, playing back through whatever game it is and being like, oh my god, I never realized you could get these armor pieces before the stores in this town. Like, it's nice to have this guide. Yeah, it's just my only complaint again, and it's a bit of a loser's complaint. Like, I know how lame it sounds, but it is a complaint as a customer, but I went to this one store that was like, I think it was an hour and 20 minutes from my house, so like, it was a decent drive. But I went there 3 times in 1 week because like there was an IKEA and something else out there that I really wanted to go to for the first time. So it was like, okay, I'm gonna schedule some trips. We're gonna go get some like pizza from my favorite pizza place and do all this other stuff. But like, we're not just gonna drive out there for video game stuff. But I did 3 trips out there, and finally I went to like my local store, which is part of a chain of them. And I was talking to the guy there, and it was just like, yeah, like, oh, there's only one game really kind of left on my list, and they're demos at this point. And he was like, oh, well, you're always here, but you should go out to the, like, the further store. It might be a little bit further, but we have, like, I don't know, 50 demos over there? And it was like, you've got to be kidding me. I've been at that store all week. Like, what do you mean they have demos? And he was like, yeah, you just got to ask them. I was like, no, you've got to be kidding me. Like, what do you mean I have to specifically ask them for demos? Because, like, what I had done was ask them about the games I wanted, but I just didn't say the word demo specifically. So, like, on one hand, I get it. Like, it's annoying as a human being to be like, dude, you didn't say the word demo. Like, they didn't know. But as a customer, it's just like, if this dude asks to buy, like, Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, dang it, this is like really difficult. You make 2 mistakes and the fish is gone. But it's like, if somebody wants Ratchet and Clank Going Commando for the PS2, maybe they might want the demo too. So like, I drove all the way out to the store again to look at demos. IKEA was really cool. I'd never been to an IKEA. Ratchet and Clank Going Commando is a great first game, although it kind of gives you a like a pillar to stand on and look down at every game you play afterwards. I mean, like, it is a great shooter. It's a platformer. It's got a story. It's got, I mean, the humor goes away sometimes as you get older. Not all of it. I recently played through both of them. Not all the way, but like a good portion of them. Because I didn't know if I'd want to stream or not. And like, a lot of the humor still lands. There's some childish humor in there, but I think it was just a bygone era of different humor. But a lot of it still lands. And then, yeah, like the Quark platforming levels and I think Up Your Arsenal are phenomenal. I was always a Going Commando fan, though, because it has the grind boots, and I love the grind boots. Yeah, it was an entirely different time of humor. I hate saying things changed, but I mean, they did. Even I, like, acknowledge that some humors aren't as funny, but I mean, like, first and foremost, like, I have to say, as somebody who was in school during the 2000s, I can't even imagine the dark humor that's in them now. Because, like, when I was in high school, school shootings were, like, something to actually be afraid of. Because it was, like, one of those things that's like, oh, shit, that's possible now. But, like, to the modern kid, I can't imagine the dark humor they have. Like, dark humor just evolves with every generation. But, like, I just can't even imagine. Because, like, again, I graduated in 2013. and like school shootings were still something to be terrified of. But like now, like I'm assuming most kids joke about that shit, because like that you have to cope. I can't imagine how else you cope. But like, again, when I was a kid, you joked about the fucking prom queen getting tricked into having pig's blood dumped on her. But like, again, the generation before us was probably looking at like us like, that's sick. That happened to a kid. You don't joke about that. And it's like, oh my god, you guys dumped pig's blood on a girl? And it's like, yeah. But like, again, it evolves because like they can't even imagine shooting each other. But it happens fucking daily. Yeah, but like kids don't do that anymore. That doesn't mess with somebody. Can you imagine dumping pig's blood on the average kid nowadays? They'd just be like, oh, I thought you were gonna shoot me. I would say it absolutely originated in a movie, but depressingly, there probably is a kid out there who has had pig's blood dumped on them. People are sick. I can absolutely imagine somebody growing up on a pig's farm and being like, Dad, can I have some of the morning slaughter blood? Sure, Deb. What for? We're painting in a art class, and fucking some Kimberly girl gets pig's blood dumped on her. Those are not accurate names for those days and age. I should have said, like, Pearl and Meredith. Oh, absolutely. Although if it was a specific Stephen King story, there's a good chance that it is fake, because that man was crazy. Although he could have just been seeing a parallel reality. My god, sometimes I hope he was just seeing something else. The shit he writes. Yeah, he's one of those people that, like, if you just do a little research on him, it's just like, oh my god, why do we celebrate this man? But, like, good for him. Dude got away with it, got his bag. Like, his old writing pictures, like, literally just make him look like, oh shit, like, who'd he kill? How many people did this guy eat? But it's like, no, dude, that's Stephen King. Like, that's a famous writer. And it's like, oh, are they looking for him? As well they should be. Whenever people give me shit for watching stuff in anime and like, man, isn't that anime stuff creepy? I literally just point to Stephen King. It's like the ultimate just... Okay. I know it's a scarecrow argument, or scapegoat? Scarecrow. Straw man. It's a straw man argument. But yeah, he's... Oh god, I want to read that because it says From Software, but I can't. These fish... Oh! These fish are insane. I almost lost that thing. I hold a similar respect for From Software. Some dark stuff. I was gonna say, yeah, have you ever read Murata's Berserk? Murata? I've never actually read Berserk because I can't afford to buy those books. Those are some expensive ass books. But I've always wanted to check it out because the animes do not interest me. They don't interest a lot of the fans either, from what I understand, so that doesn't really interest me. Because a lot of the time I have to watch an anime first to see if I want to read the manga. Because that's my favorite thing about manga. I love the art medium. I think the ability to draw a story and fill it with dialogue is like the peak of artistic talent. Like, you have to have it all, pretty much. Or you have to have one of them in, like, such a high regard that the other ones can suck. Like One Punch Man's webcomic. But I think that's just so cool that there's people who can draw, write, and, like, craft an entire intriguing story around it. But for me to actually sit down and read an entire manga, I have to watch the anime and want to know, like, oh, what happens, like, originally? What did they adapt? What did they do this? What did they do that? Because otherwise I'm just going to watch the anime and play Pokemon. 100%. But no, my first manga was actually from a Scholastic book fair in middle school. I remember I had like a budget to buy one book because every year there was like these really cool, like, get yourself a chemistry set. And I was just like, okay, like, I always think these are like super fun because if you just don't follow the instructions, you can make really weird chemicals that smell funny. Which I was probably making like horrible acids and mustard gas back in the day, but who knows. But I'd always loved buying those. But one time I was at the book fair and I saw this manga, and I think it was called The Awakening, but it was like an all-girls school, and I was just like, oh yeah, like this is the kind of comic I want to buy. But it turned out to be an all-girls school where like they disappear into the woods and get abducted, and like it was like super weird. And I just remember thinking like, okay, I did not expect this to be sold at the book fair. I'm gonna have to wait till next year to buy another one. And I couldn't wait till next year, so I convinced my mom to take me to, I think it was Barnes & Noble or like a half-price books or something. And I was just like, they'll have to have it. They have to have it. And they didn't have it, but what they did have was a manga called Claymore, which literally, like, at the time changed my life, put me on the weeb path. But if you've never read Claymore or watched Claymore, I 100% recommend it. It's pretty much just female Berserk. It definitely takes like a different path after a while, but when you start reading it, you're just like, this is just female Berserk. And it's pretty good. Anime? Maybe not so much. But the manga is insane. Oh, nice. That's actually pretty cool. Do you own it? Because that's worth like, not hundreds of thousands of dollars, but like, they're becoming really popular. It's just so funny, like, to me how popular it all is, because even when I was growing up, I can remember making fun of my friends and stuff in public, like, oh my god, he's buying a Dragon Ball Z shirt! And it's like, dude, you're buying a Pokemon one. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, don't actually say that. And it's just because, like, people didn't want to, like, let others know that they watched anime unless you were way into it. But, like, now it's just part of culture. It's not even pop culture. I think it's just culture. Yeah, that's how I was for super long. I didn't actually own any of the mangas. I owned the first 10 volumes of Claymore, but it was just like, this is expensive. Like, this is a hobby I don't think I can actually get into. And people were always just like, just read it online. And it was like, oh, okay. So then I never even thought about owning them until the pandemic hit. And I was just like, you know, it'd actually be nice to sit down and read something again. Because it'd been a long time since I read like a book. So when the pandemic hit and I was stuck inside, I decided I should read. And I read Jurassic Park, probably a quarter of The Lost World, and then I read all 36 volumes of Hunter x Hunter. And it was actually really nice to just sit down with some books and like have them in hand, even though again they're manga. I wouldn't exactly call them books, but I mean, you are reading. Actually, I wouldn't call them books by any stretch of the imagination. But I would say manga and comic books are really good for you to like read and look at, on top of actual reading and stuff like that. Because the comprehension and like imagination you need to put panels together is a skill people need. People need to be able to like picture things. And I know not everybody has that. It's like something anaphasia, something like that. where like they can't actually mentally picture like what's going on around them. But like there's a lot of people who just don't have critical thinking skills, and I think it's because they don't read and imagine enough. And that's sad. And imagination's a beautiful thing to have. God. But like it's hilarious if you sit on Reddit enough and you read like, oh god, I was just a slight mistake. And you read like the weekly manga posts for stuff. It's so funny to like read the entire fandom eat itself alive during the weekly updates, because people will come up with the most asinine theories for their manga, and the other fans are just like, see people, see, this is what happens when you lack reading comprehension. It's just so funny to see them eat each other alive. But like it is always true, because people will be like, oh, I think this is gonna happen in the next chapter. And it's like, where are you getting that? And they'll explain where they get it from. And it's just like, wait, no, where are you getting that from? And they just keep trying to explain it. And it's like, what are you reading? Like, what words are you seeing when you read this? And it's just, again, I feel bad, but it is funny to some extent that some people just, they just don't have it. They just can't fit the pictures together. And I feel bad, but like, again, I think that's something important. I think people should read books and comic books, but my god, I didn't start doing that until 4 years ago. And I'm 30. But like, it's one of those brain exercises that you don't realize helps you so much until you start doing it. Floor planning. Floor planning is one of those things that you make fun of people like for being like, oh, I'm an interior designer. But like, my god, the amount of imagination it takes to look at a room and just be like, okay, this could be it could be a rustic and old farmhouse style. Like, that's impressive. I'm impressed by that level of imagination. I could like design a room in my head that I would like, but I couldn't do it for other people. I think I'm pretty empathetic, but like, I don't think I could put myself in somebody else's shoes and be like, oh, like, okay, you pick out these cabinets and that top. Okay, here's the rest of the room that you want. Nah, I can't do that. That's impressive, though. I used to do some visual meditation. Like, I'd try to visualize parks and paths that I'd walked on while I meditated. That helped. That was pretty neat. The hard part about that is not losing focus, because you're like, okay, like I've been on this trail enough times to think, okay, the restrooms are at the start. You walk down the path and there's a tree here that looks like a person standing, and okay, yep, the handrail should be starting on the right, and then it's just like, oh, and then that one time that lady screamed, and then yep, exercise is over. But sometimes you make it pretty far down the trail in your mind, and it's a neat experience. People neglect the mind. But you can build it, you can work on it. They say it's one of the ways to prevent aging. I mean, you can't actually prevent aging, but like, if you don't want that old person brain fog, they say you gotta stay sharp, you gotta stay with it. And I think video games are gonna be a big thing for that. Whether we all turn into a bunch of vegetables and it's just like, oh my god, have you seen Old Man Johnson? He's got the world record in Mario again. And it's like, yeah, but he's basically tool assisted at this point. He can't speak or do anything. He just plays Mario all day. Yeah, but it's pretty impressive. I don't know. We don't know. Video games like this haven't been around long enough. I think that'd be cool. Alright, Old Man Johnson, just take your pills, and here's your Salisbury steak. I don't want Salisbury steak. We're not giving you mushrooms. That's just from Mario. That could happen. I could see some old people in, like, retirement homes, and it's just like, I used to be the best in the world at Jak and Daxter. And it's like, sure you did, Grandpa.
You get me a PS2, or you know what? You can get me a PS3 emulated, I got it.
And there's just some old man in a retirement home running like borderline tool-assisted runs. Because that's all his brain's got left. That would be the dream. I'm not even gonna lie. That would be the dream for me. I'm not good enough at a game, though. I don't think there's any game I could ever actually hold a world record in. I know that's a negative thing to say, but I'm just respecting the game out there. There's a lot of good game out there. Although, I have actually, funny enough, I have actually been thinking about trying out the Jak 3 speedrun. It looks so interesting, and now that it's down to like half an hour, that's in my realm of ADD. I can keep focused for half an hour. God, this is gonna take forever, isn't it? I was actually thinking about getting another manga. But I think that's a slippery slope because I don't think there's a manga that I like as much as Hunter x Hunter. And there's a lot of mangas that I like in second place. Like, I would say Full Metal Alchemist is probably a second place for me. One Punch Man's probably a battle for second place. I'd like to get Claymore again, because I used to own, like, again, the first 10 of them, but I was one of those people who foolishly would let anybody borrow anything at, like, the drop of a hat. And I just... There's so much stuff from my childhood I'll obviously never see again, but like, I don't regret it. It made me the coolest person at the table. I realize now why everybody's faces were always in shock whenever I would do it, but like, growing up I thought that's just what you did. But nope, I was getting robbed my entire life by bullies. Had no clue that's what was happening, but... Oh my god, like the amount of Yu-Gi-Oh cards I'll never get back breaks my heart. I actually had, like, again, not like $100,000 first edition Charizard. But which one was it? I had one of like the misprints. Was it the Black Luster Knight? No. I can't remember which one it was. But it was the one you were supposed to mail in and get like a different version of. But I didn't know that until years later. But I had a quote-unquote friend from middle school who said they wanted to borrow it because it would work in their deck for a tournament. And I was like, okay, like this dude knows cards. Like if he's asking me for a card, he needs it. And then just, it was in his locker at school for weeks. And then finally I probably just forgot to ask him again, and then it wasn't until years later that somebody brought it up, and it was just like, I had that wait, I had that card. And it's like, I've got all my other oh my god, I was robbed. I had a holographic, I don't know if it was an ultra, I don't know if the text was gold, different dimension dragon that I loved. Not obviously a card worth a lot of money, but I loved it. Gave that one away too because somebody said they needed it. I lost the original Donkey Kong that way. Gave that to somebody who said they were a bigger Mario fan than me, and were like, I've never played that. So you gotta try it. And I never got to beat it. Probably never would have beat it though, because man, that game was hard. again, 10 volumes of Claymore Gone to the Wind. Lost a Game Boy two Game Boy SPs. Pokemon Crystal. I think I sold most of my Gen 3 games to GameStop because I was a fool back then. A lot of us were fools back then. We fell for early GameStop. I don't know if somebody took it because they just liked the way the game looked, or if they actually knew what they were doing. I'm leaning towards they knew what they were doing, because somebody took my Suikoden 4 and left my Suikoden 3. So that really bums me out, because that game was worth like 250 bucks at some point. I wouldn't have sold it, but I actually liked that game. I liked how edgy the protagonist was. Also, any game where like the first mission is you meeting a mermaid and fighting a giant crab is an A+ in my book, if not S. This one's funny. So, this one, it still makes me laugh. Somebody stole my original copy of Dark Souls, but they didn't mean to. It was like this. It was this massive, notorious party house. And I showed up one time, and I was like, oh my god, is that an Xbox 360? And they're like, yeah, so-and-so owns it. They just let everybody play it, because, like, it's their old one, so, like, they don't care if it breaks or anything. And it was like, oh my god, I'm bringing Dark Souls over. And, like, I brought Dark Souls, and, like, people would just play Dark Souls whenever they were drinking and stuff. And it was such a fun game to watch people try to figure out and play. And then every so often, like, somebody would be like, I'm gonna play some Dark Souls. I'm gonna play this off. And it'd be like, oh shit, here goes Brad to play some Dark Souls. And all of a sudden, Brad's like speed running down to fucking Blight Town to grab himself the Crimson set and something else. And it's just like, oh god, Brad's doing clips. Oh, Brad's in Quelaag's don't. Oh, Brad's in Death Cam. Brad's in Death Cam. Oh shoot, I'm bait rodding it right now. I'm glad I did though, because I could actually read your message. Really? Dark Souls 3 specifically. I have no proof of this, but I've probably put thousands of hours into 1 and 3. I fell for the propaganda of 2. I'll admit it. I heard 2 was a shitty game, and I didn't form my own opinion, but I'm waiting for Steam to put it on a good sale, and I'm going to go back and play it, but I played, that was my first Dark Souls game. I played a fair amount of 2 and played a bit of 1. Yeah, it was actually kind of interesting how I even got into Dark Souls, because I had no idea the game came out when it did. I was a huge fan of Oblivion, because I had a friend that was an even bigger fan of the Elder Scrolls series in general. Like, they were a Daggerfall fan, Elder Scrolls 2 nonsense. And they were always like, you gotta play Morrowind, you gotta play Morrowind, you gotta play Morrowind. And it was like, no. Oh, nice, Game Grumps. I've never actually watched a Game Grumps video directly, but I had a roommate who would watch every upload they had, and like, I probably can't do it off the top of my head, but if I hear it, I can do the Game Grumps intro, like, with them. But again, I've never actually watched one of their videos. But the fucking, like, the fucking, like, intro is, like, ingrained into my head. Yes. I've never actually watched one, but I can hear it in my head. Because again, I would just sit there on the other side of the couch and he would watch it, and it's like, oh my gosh, here's another one. But no, I never had a problem with them. I liked their videos. I just I think it's so interesting when you like ask people about who they watch on YouTube and stuff. Because like, it really, like, entertainment just evolved. It was like television and flight grew so rapidly that, like, it's just insane. Like, again, we were going from flight to space in, was it 70 years, 60 years or something like that, 80 years? But we went from black and white television. I shouldn't even say that. We went from radio to streamers sitting in front of their cameras in a hot tub in no time. It's crazy, but like the YouTube generation is just insane to think about. Not that I'm like jealous, but I'm kind of jealous that I never grew up with like a specific streamer, like a PewDiePie or something like that. We're going down the dark path. Hey, you say that, but One Piece fans are actually saying we're on the good timeline because they're getting a second TV show while they have an already continuous TV show with a live action. So like we're in the One Piece timeline. It's like it's official. We are in the One Piece timeline. There are 3 active One Piece television shows. One of them's been going for 20 plus years. Like not even The Simpsons has that. Family Guy tried. They had American Dad, Family Guy, and The Cleveland Show, but The Cleveland Show got canceled. The Simpsons has had 2 or 3 spin-offs, but they've all failed so hard that most people don't even know that The Simpsons has spin-offs. I didn't even know The Simpsons had spin-offs until recently when I was watching like an iceberg video and somebody mentioned it. But like, yeah, One Piece is like killing it. I never got into One Piece. And it was because the characters all looked so weird to me. Like, even with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Baki the Grappler, I thought One Piece characters looked so ridiculous that I couldn't enjoy it. However, with the current chapter revelations, I think it's one of the greatest stories ever written. I don't even have a problem saying that because, again, I spent 20 years saying it was a horribly drawn and poorly written story. But like, I'm eating those words. I have no problem eating them as well. Because that man can craft a story. I also think he knows how to craft too much of a story, but I mean, like, again, good for him though. Like, he's got a successful, he might have one of the only successful anime live adaptations. I'm trying to think of some other ones, but I can't. Like, I heard Ghost in the Shell isn't bad if you don't know the source material, but as soon as you know about the source material, it's bad. But dang, that's crazy. We are literally, I'm agreeing now. We are officially in the One Piece timeline. I just can't believe we actually got a new volume of Hunter x Hunter. And I'm so glad that Togashi put out that message explaining which ending he was cutting off, because it literally was the Boruto ending for Hunter x Hunter, and I think he's probably one of those people that's like terminally online or has never been online in his life until recently. But when he put out that, like, okay, these are the 4 endings that I've chosen, and this is the one I'm scrapping, and it was just literally Boruto, but in Hunter x Hunter, and everybody was like, oh, thank God this is the one he's not choosing. But if I had to guess, he just sees how much people hate Boruto now, and was just like, alright, yep, I am not using that ending. But I don't really care if he ends the series. I would just like to actually see an end to what he started. Because he's very... that's enough. it's only 1 level. I should have waited. Because he started something crazy, and I want to see at least what he's got going right now finished. I doubt we see what he started finished, but this little halfway point to the main course, the appetizer, it's too good. I want to fill up on the appetizer if I can, and he's just teasing it right now. But I read his messages. I understand his woes. I've had back pain. I've never had back pain as bad as him, but like I've had back pain and it's made me hate the world. So like if his back pain's that much worse than mine, I can understand him never wanting to ride again. But at the same time, I can respect him for wanting to continue riding despite the pain it puts him in. However, it does make me a little bit upset because it probably could have just been solved by some simple stretching his entire life. A lot of people neglect stretching when they're young because they don't need it, because they're loose and limber. But like, there's just a day where like you lose that loose and limberness and you don't realize it, and if you don't stretch, you're donezo. Happens all the time. I see older people out on walks and like, I mean, they're looking at the ground. It's so sad. Breaks my heart. Makes me want to just run up and hit him with like a flying knee to the spine, but it's too late. You couldn't crack that back. There's not a school desk designed in the world to crack that person's back. I've thought about that. I've thought about going to a bunch of like Goodwills and stuff like that, Salvation Armies and thrift stores, and trying to find a nice desk that fits my back so I can crack it again like I was in school. I'm probably not small enough. Oh my god, that was such a good feeling though. Getting out of gym class, sitting down in like one of your last periods of the day and just feeling that little, ooh, 1 second, pushing against the desk towards the chair and just your whole back adjusting. Beautiful. Loved it. Which way are you going? To the right? Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Nope. Oh my gosh. I would, if I hadn't been leveling up resistance, I would have lost that fish right there. That's crazy. I'm glad I switched to leveling resistance. It's absolutely necessary. Oh my gosh, that's fun to think about. Who did I... Oh, big fish. Here we go. Here we go. Been a while. Who did I, like, grow up watching? I know I said I didn't really grow up watching anyone, but, like, I did watch YouTube. I honestly think I just watched videos. Well, no. I watched Optic Gaming. That's who I watched play Call of Duty back then. I watched, oh my god, Optic Hex. D-Treats, I think was my favorite quickscoper. I never watched Zerg Riz, but I remember the C4 video. Blame Truth, that's who I watched back then. Because he switched to Hearthstone and then Pokemon, I think. That is who I watched. Blame Truth and not Blame Truth, because he lost his YouTube channel at some point. Oh man, I watched that man break down. I forgot all about that. Wherever you are, Blame Truth, I hope you're doing better. Oh my god, yeah, he's the one that got me into Hearthstone and competitive Pokemon battling. I forgot. That's... I'm gonna lose this fish, aren't I? God, what was that? 2009? 2010? Oh, nice save. Oh, I'm gonna lose it. Oh my god. What's happening here? And then, yeah, I started watching The Flaming Spade because Blame Truth stopped posting. 216, not bad. Finally, our first 200 pointer. Dang, so these fish are worth so many points. I actually didn't get into watching Twitch until like 2015. Surprisingly. That's because at some point I realized I wasn't as good as the pros at Fortnite. And it was just like, okay, I'm gonna watch somebody else play. I'm gonna be real with myself. 2016. When did Fortnite come out? Fortnite was 2017. Oh my god, right? Fortnite feels like one of those things that's existed forever, but it literally is so new. It's 2017 or 2018, right? When did Fortnite come out? I will always defend Fortnite, the floor is lava. I think that was one of the greatest gaming, like, phenomenon, whatever, of all time. So many kids got to live out their experience of the floor is lava in an actual game that, like, functioned well with online multiplayer. Maybe it was just the fact that it was my favorite game mode in Fortnite, but man, I loved the floor is lava. Later iterations weren't as fun, but maybe that's just me being an old man. Because again, one of the big problems with Fortnite, still to this day, is how good people are at building. But in the floor is lava, like, that didn't actually matter. There was, like, a whole other meta. And it was all about breaking people's structures from, like, their bases. And that you didn't have to be a speed builder to build a giant bridge. So, like, it was just so cool that it was, like, an entirely different meta of, like, hey, we need 2 people just putting down floors and pyramids, and another person shooting rockets, and maybe another one sniping. And that's where it actually mattered. But I hear zero builds actually for, like, most people. Like, it actually completely changed the game, which is good for them. And I wish I was on record saying it, but one of the first things I said when Fortnite came out was if they wanted to fix the building problem, all they needed to do was give everybody 50 mats of each, and that was it. Or no, was it 60? Whatever it is to build a 1x1 with no roof. Or with a roof and a ramp, but not enough for both. So, like, when the final circle comes out, everybody gets 3 little bases they can put up and defend themselves in. But no crazy, I'm in a cube and you can't shoot in, you can't shoot from any angle, you gotta come up and build fight me. or you can't come up and, yeah, just force the other player to have a build fight or rockets. Because, oh my gosh, I loved the pro circuit for a while. It was fun to watch, but like, I felt so bad for some of those tournament players. Because, like, I mean, like, the big streamers, like, it wasn't a problem watching them lose because you know they were going home to their mansion and stuff. But you'd see, like, some so-and-so who finally made it to, like, a tournament one year, and it's just like, yeah, like, let's see him win this. And then, like, in the final fight, while they're trying to, like, run to grab some mats because they had a terrible start and they finally made it, some pro hits them with like a crazy edit while they're like tunneling, and it's just like, oh my god, like there's no skill involved in that. It's just timing. Like somebody just so happened to be there when you were going there to grab those mats. But like that is part of like, you know, the whole battle royale is the RNG. Although, man, some of those battle royale tournaments like Apex, I hate that. They like change the storms. That is such a crybaby, big time streamer, my opinion always matters bullshit thing. Like sometimes in battle royales, the end zone is off the edge of the map. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes one team wins because everybody else is basically forced to jump off the map and die, and one team got lucky. And I hate that they undo stuff like that by changing where the like final zones can be, because like pros are so good at the game that like it doesn't matter if they have a better advantage than the other pros, they're gonna steamroll them. So like you might as well make it comical so everybody has to panic and it's like, oh my god, final zone's off the edge of the map, we got to take this team to our left. Because if they get rid of that situation and they leave everything else in the game normal... Oh, I should probably be feeding my fish still, shouldn't I? Oops. Whoops. Oh. I don't think I care that much. But like, if they leave a final zone where like there's a bunch of high ground in and one team gets that high ground and everybody else is just hiding behind like tires and stuff, it's the same situation as if you'd left the hilarious one in. So you might as well leave the hilarious one in for the fans to chuckle about and the pros to complain. But instead they try to make the pros happy, and that just doesn't work. Pros have that billionaire grind set, and I respect it because I don't have it. It can never be enough. It's like the speedrunner mindset. Oh man, I got world record, but there's 2 places I messed up at. Come on. Oh, I got a double blop on that one. Huh, so... This is your first 12-hour stream with me, so I'm just gonna prep you now. Every 2 hours, I take a little like 10-minute break to go to the bathroom and let my dog outside and throw my cat some treats and stuff. Grab a snack, and then I come back and I'll stream for another like 2 or so hours. Or yeah, it usually ends before the 3-hour mark, but it's almost always longer than 2 hours. The only time I stream for less than 2 hours is if something tragic happens and I think I'm gonna lose my mind, which sometimes does happen. For example, if I was to accidentally reset over a shiny Pokemon, I'd probably end the stream because I would just need to take a nap. Very nice. So yeah, it's not gonna be for another, I think, 14 minutes that I take my first break, but yeah, because otherwise I'll just sit here for 12 hours and forget to drink water and eat. I'll just hyperfixate on the game, and I shouldn't do that. It's also bad for your legs. That's how people die. You can't just sit there for 12 hours. So yeah, I'll get up and do stuff, but it's never for long. And I always end the recording, but not the stream, so that like if you catch this on YouTube, I'm never gone. Sometimes I have to get up and run out into the living room because my cats have gotten into the pantry and they're eating their treats. But that's only like 2 minutes. But I always try to like actually keep these from making it to the final cuts. Because man, I hate that when you're trying to like do something and you put a video on in the background and all of a sudden the streamer's gone for 45 minutes because they're like, hey, my DoorDash is here. And then you don't hear from them for like an hour, and it's just like, oh my god, I didn't know you were going to like eat. Like, my god. Like, I get life happens, but it's hilarious sometimes how long people are gone. And like, again, I get it. I'm like getting into the lifestyle. I can't wait to do my first 24-hour stream, but I don't know how to do that yet. I'm not ready. Again, I gotta spend tomorrow. Tomorrow's one of my break days. I gotta spend tomorrow figuring out this follower subscription nonsense. I gotta figure out how to get those notifications to pop up. I don't know if maybe the widgets updated, like the ones I use, and like I just have old code that needs to be changed. But it's so wild that my name would pop up yesterday, but nobody else's would. And I know I don't have words banned or anything like that. Freedom of speech, baby! No, I'm kidding. Your freedom of speech is denied. This is my stream. I'll let you say whatever you want once, and then I'll kick you. No, I'm kidding. I'll let it flag what you said, approve it, then kick you. No, I'm kidding. This is a relaxed place. It's all about gaming here. I also find that if you ban certain words, you just lead it to, like, more people trying to figure out what words you have banned, because they'll just be like, oh my gosh, that's my favorite level in the game. I love going to the Assassin's Wood. Wait, why won't it let me say assassin? Oh my god, he's got ass banned. What else does he have banned? So, whatever. I would one day like to believe that I would have fans who would have the backbones to stand up to somebody who was spamming something inappropriate in chat. Not obviously harass to the person to the point where they delete their Twitch account, but like, hey, we don't do that around here. Knock it off. Do you know what you mean when you say that? That kind of stuff. Strong backbone. A lot of calcium kind of shit. Dense bone kind of things. Get hit by a truck and walk away kind of shit. What is with these fish? Stop! I said relaxing stream. Ooh, I thought I had that. I'm not understanding how that arrow works. Like, sometimes I hit it perfectly. Ooh, I might actually have to buy Final Fantasy 15 just to fish in that game again. The fishing is so freaking good. And I actually liked the combat. I know it was a bit reductive. Press triangle until you're out and then wait for your mana to come back. But I liked it. I thought it was a fun game. I like games that have combat like that. Where it's just like, well, once you're a high enough level, all you do is hit triangle and you kill everything. And it's like, yeah, but that takes 12 hours if you know what you're doing. If you don't, it takes like 50. And then you get up against the final boss, and that's like the only way to beat him, and it looks cool. And it's like, well, I just didn't like it. And it's like, well, that's fine. You don't have to like every Final Fantasy game. There's 16 of them. I'm gonna lose this fish too. Man, I should have started a fish counter today for number of fish lost. Holy hell, he's dancing on my grave. Stop. Where's the relaxation? Where's the bottom feeding carp? Knock it off. Oh my god, that fucking danger bar is my heart rate meter right now. Stop! For the love of my fucking capillaries. Oh my god, I'm gonna need a rice. Oh no, I ate the last Rice Krispie treat. You fat fuck, why? I have to make more. God, I hate melting marshmallow down. I should have made a bigger batch. You should always just make a bigger batch. I hate melting marshmallow. I do love making brown butter, though. Brown butter has become one of those things in cooking that, like, I take so much pleasure in. Like, just... because it's never perfect. There's always a moment you could go further to get a browner butter. But you can go too far, too quickly, and lose your butter. But, like, there's always just that risk of, like, can I push it? Can I push it? Can I push it? Oh, it's one of those things that's just like, how did I not ever notice that my butter was browning and tasting better? But like, I do it all the time now. That's how I just cook my butter. Oh, and in a Rice Krispie treat, it's just divine. Which way are you going? I don't know if I have this fish. I think I'm gonna hit the same problem last time. Unless I get him in now. He has to keep going the same direction. That's a loss. Oh, we got him! Not bad. Not bad. So from what I understand, the FP is exaggerated. So it looks like you're catching bigger fish. So like, again, that beat my points for yesterday. However, that fish wasn't nearly as long. So what we currently think is that since the lure rod's so difficult, they make the fish worth more points so that you can level it up more consistently despite catching less fish. So when you're catching with the bait rod, you use the FP points to see how big the fish's weight is, because the centimeters are actually randomized to a certain extent. There's like a certain range around every weight that the fish can be. However, the FP is always exact to the weight. So you can actually calculate the weight based on the FP, but not the centimeters. However, if you want to compare fish between the bait rod and the lure rod, it's best to do it with centimeters because they are similar. Because again, the FP values are different. They can still be compared if you know the formula. But if you just look at one versus the other, the lure rod fish is always going to look bigger because of the FP points. But not literally bigger, because that's where the centimeter comes in and you're like, okay, I can actually see that the lure rod fish isn't as big. So it's interesting. A lot of hidden mechanics they don't explain super well, but that's 2002 for you, baby. But that's definitely the most valuable fish I've ever caught. I've never caught one in the 300 points. But again, it's because I use a bait rod. I think theoretically with the lure rod, we can catch a fish in the 500s. Potentially 600 being the max, or 599. But that was probably equivalent to the Kaji I was catching yesterday, a 97 centimeter Baku. I'd say that's equivalent to like a 150 centimeter Kaji. Again, they get way bigger than 150 centimeter. But Baku, I think, max out at like 180 centimeters or something like that. See, that's so funny. 190 FP on a bait rod is a perfect fish, basically. If not bigger than a perfect fish. Alright, 45. We were almost halfway. Ooh, what am I gonna have for breakfast? I'm gonna... probably just something with some protein in it, something quick. Oh shoot, that was the fastest 15 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna catch a few more fish, and then I'm gonna take the first little break. I might just go down to the river, honestly. What am I at? 45. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. I'm gonna... I'm gonna grab something to eat. I'm doing some editing right now for the best 2023 highlights compilation, and I like to do that every year, and I do one flip so far, it's just for Lethal Company. Hold on. Lethal Company is so freaking funny. I don't know why that just said a change happened in the future. That freaks me out. Okay, I don't want Donnie. I want what's his name. I'm torn on Lethal Company. I don't like well, I shouldn't say that. I like multiplayer games. I love them. I love multiplayer games. But I think multiplayer games are truly only fun if you have friends. Because like those kinds of games, it takes one person having a bad day and they can throw your entire online lobby off whack. It's wild. It's literally support pumped up. I had no idea. Join me. But But, like, that's why I had to quit playing Apex Legends. Was, like, I would be enjoying a ranked match, and all of a sudden somebody'd be like, you took my R301! And then they'd throw the match, and it's just like, oh my god. Yeah, no, it's one of those games, like, I could try playing with randos, and I feel like if you got enough people who were just, like, wanted to have some fun, it'd be a great time. But again, it would just take one guy smacking you in the back of the head with a stop sign, and you're just like, yep, that's it for the day. And it's like, why? Why? And then they're just like, well, I wanted the bottles. And it's just like, okay, I believe you. I 100% believe that you wanted to turn the bottles in. But yeah, that's one of those, it's like Among Us. That's one of those games that just, like, deserved the following it has right now. Alright, 2 hours, 1 minute. I gotta get used to that. But we're gonna go here, save. I'm going to go grab something to drink. No, yeah, I'll grab a water. I'm gonna grab a beverage to drink later. I'm gonna put that in the fridge, though. I'm gonna grab a protein shake to drink now. And then I'll be back. I'm gonna set a timer, though, because, again, I like to be back in 15 minutes. No more. So we'll stop recording. If you don't make it back, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. But I'm pretty sure you're just putting this on second monitor, which I love being a second monitor creator. That's where I want to be. So, thank you.